Hello everybody, welcome back to the Dojo of Game. And today we have a little bit of information about the shooter, the person who attempted to take out Donald Trump in a live audience. This man deleted, I'll cut that word out with the editing. This man deleted someone in the audience who was a firefighter. Supposedly he protected his daughter and that's how he got shot. I didn't do the investigation. This is just hearsay, but let's take a look at what Trump's shooter is all about, what maybe his possible motives are, and see if I can come to a conclusion based on my own opinion.
Delving into Crook's history, he's being described as a highly intelligent loner who somehow had a secret plan to kill the former president. Police say they found suspected bomb-making material in Crook's car and evacuated 2 square blocks in Bethel Park while searching his parents' home. That's where we find KDKA lead investigator Andy Sheehan, who shares what he's found out about the would-be assassin. And Andy, what can you tell us?
Well, Erica, news that Thomas Crook was behind this assassination attempt comes as a shock to this quiet Bethel Park neighborhood. Tonight, he remains a puzzle to federal investigators and his former classmates.
Thomas Crooks.
To a smattering of applause, Thomas Matthew.
Yeah, the guy looks like a weirdo. He looks like the type of guy that would go ahead and do a shooting. You can tell.
Crooks, who failed in his assassination attempt on former President Trump, is seen here graduating from Bethel Park High School 2 years ago. News of his brazen act comes as a shock to his former classmates.
Anyone who knew him, close or not, it was just not something that we would have ever seen coming.
Described as a highly intelligent student who excelled in advanced placement classes in both history and math, former classmate Summer Barkley said he was quiet, kept to himself, but was always with the ready answer.
Everyone kind of knew him as the kid that knew everything.
Sounds exactly like the type of suspect that would do something like that. It sounds like all the other suspects that have done this type of thing with the school shooting and the shooting in public and all this type of stuff. It seems to be the same prototype of person. So I would say, hey, it is something that could be expected from this type of person just based on anecdotal evidence. Now, am I saying that it's cool to stereotype somebody to think that they're crazy because they fit these attributes? No, but I'm saying that they might be a little bit suspicious, you know.
So everything we would always joke, say, I bet Thomas knows the answer to this question. If we don't, Thomas knows it.
Like, you could look at him and you would be like, something's a little off.
Though Barkley said Crooks did have a few friends, others described him as a loner with an odd demeanor who was picked on by other students.
He did sit alone at lunch. Like, he was always alone. I mean, he was bullied every day.
Crooks is the son of Matthew and Mary Crooks, here in this middle-class neighborhood in Bethel Park. State records show both parents are licensed behavioral counselors. Matthew works nearby at Community Care Behavioral Health, a subsidiary of UPMC Health Plan. Despite his academic achievements, Barkley said after graduation, Thomas Crooks did not go away to college and instead stayed home, living with his parents and enrolled in the Community College of Allegheny County. Sources say federal law enforcement is investigating his mental health history and emotional state leading up to the shooting. The FBI confirms it was Matthew Crooks who legally purchased the AR-15 style semi-automatic rifle his son used in the attack, which wounded the former president, killed an attendee, and critically wounded 2 others. Another student tells CBS News, as a freshman, Thomas Crooks unsuccessfully tried out for the rifle team at the high school, but did not make it for being a poor shot. Other students tell us Crooks had a keen interest in history and government affairs, but did not display overt political feelings. According to Pennsylvania voter records,
Okay, he didn't display overt political feelings. I mean, this could have not even been politically motivated, considering that he was a bullied kid. Maybe he was just trying to make a name for himself, saying, if I'm going to go out, I'm going to go out in a way that makes me famous, in a way that everybody knows who I am. I guess even if he's going out in a stupid way, a way that everybody knows him as a bad person, not a good person. I mean, you never know what the motive is, and this is goes down a slippery slope because bullying is definitely a double-edged sword. It's definitely something that can bring people into darkness, give them depression, give them self-esteem issues, but it's also something that for certain personality types can give them a sort of a push and make them not accept that behavior and want to do something to change what's going on. For example, I got beat up when I was like in kindergarten, and from then I became a lifelong martial artist. So if I would have never gotten beat up, then I would have never became a lifelong martial artist. So there could be unfortunately there could be some things positive about some bullying experience. And when it's too extreme, obviously that's not positive when you're isolated from everybody and you're sitting alone at lunch. That could definitely have a drain on your psychological system. So I can understand that this kid was going through some kind of a mental breakdown. If somebody would have stopped him, maybe who could have gone ahead to change his life around and have a perfectly normal life, but nobody knew what was going on. And I've heard even that some people are trying to blame the parents. Listen, there's no way that the parents are going to know what he's going down to do. He's going to be like, hey, catch you guys later, I'm going to go shoot Trump. No, they probably just think he's going to see the president talk out of interest. Like they said, he had interest in political things. They're not going to suspect this kind of thing from a quiet kid. But there's definitely something going on with mental health crisis in the United States that needs to be addressed, which I feel like they're trying to address it, but they're addressing it in the wrong way with over wussifying everybody, making everybody weak, and making it seem as if you don't need to try to accomplish anything. That's not really going to fix a problem, because people are motivated by accomplishments, right? If there's no accomplishments, what's the motivation? What's the reason to keep grinding, to keep going ahead, to want to overcome the bullying? You have to have something bigger than that. You have to have a goal that foreshadows everything that you're going through, that you can strive towards. Without that, if everybody's just perfect as they are, then there's no reason to even try, you know?
He was a registered Republican, but there is also this Federal Campaign Commission record of a 2021 donation giving $15 to Act Blue, a progressive political action committee which funds left-leaning Democratic candidates. His mother, Mary, is a registered Democrat, and his father, Matthew, is a libertarian. Residents were evacuated last night when federal agents commenced the search of the house.
All right, like I said, now this is pure speculation. I don't know the answer, but it doesn't seem that this was necessarily politically motivated. It seems more like the kid was going through some kind of deep depression. He wanted to press the delete button, and he wanted to go out in a way that everybody would know who he was, so he went ahead and did this. I don't think it was politically motivated. I think it was more motivated on a spectrum of just a mental breakdown, man. Just depression, trying to prove himself in the complete wrong way, in a way that's completely erroneous, something that's terrible, that's awful, that nobody should want to do. But because, while not just the President Trump, there's literally an audience full of people. You kill anyone, you don't know who you're shooting at. I mean, you don't want to shoot anybody, but yeah, that's just ridiculous. But it's the world we live in nowadays, you know?